Congratulations on what has been a pretty good month of footy for the club. I'm assuming that the club are fairly content with how everything's going.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously disappointed early on in that first round against Port to play the way that we did, but it's been promising the last few weeks to be able to string a few wins together, and obviously that brings confidence within the group, and the boys are in a good space, which is nice heading into a big game on Friday night.
What's changed, if anything?
I don't think anything's changed, to be honest. I think it's more just the click, and everyone talks about getting new players in. I'm one of those new players and being able to build that chemistry, and it's hard to do without those real games of footy, and I feel like the first few rounds we've been able to do that, and now we're starting to learn how each other play, and we're really starting to gel as a group, so it's showing out on the field, and it's exciting moving forward because I feel like we're only just scratching the surface on that.
I guess defensively the club's about to go through another bit of a change with both Zorks and Dan Rich out for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so it's a hard one with those two going out. Obviously, both very senior players in the group and help us on both sides of the ball. And Richie obviously plays down back, and Zorks plays up the field a little bit more. But their creativeness to be able to set us up moving forward has been really good. And but it is promising too. I think that the way the VFL's played this year, and we've got guys that are willing to step up and been playing some consistent footy there. So exciting opportunity for those boys that come in. But obviously disappointing too to lose those guys.
How about you, Josh? How are you feeling that your form is at the moment?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like each week I'm getting better, and as I touched on, I feel like the start of the year starting to feel things out and learn what your role is within the team. So I felt like I was able to do that early on and starting to play some consistent footy. I feel like my year's been pretty consistent so far and only building towards the right part of the season. So looking forward to what's next, but full of confidence, and not only within myself but within the group.
What do you see is that role, for yourself in the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously playing a little bit more midfield time than what I have in the past, but also being able to go forward and haven't hit the scoreboard yet, but he kicked a couple of points. But it'd be nice to come around soon and get the song going at the Gabba. It'd be pretty cool. But I mean, that probably the defensive-minded midfielder that's playing their role, and I feel like my pressure stuff's been really good in the highlight of my first few games so far. So I like playing that role. I've played that role forever in my career, and just looking forward to obviously the offensive side coming through soon.
What is your song?
What is my song? I can't remember. Wagon Wheel. It's pretty bad that I can't remember, isn't it?
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. And what about Carlton this week? Yeah, should be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I think obviously they went over to Perth and had a massive win over the West Coast Eagles, and their form this year's been pretty good too. So we're going to have to beat our best on Friday night, and obviously starts with their midfield. Paddy Cripps is a mainstay in there, and we're going to have to negate him and the others around the ball too. So they're high half-backs. We just had a look at them, and the way they move the footy is pretty exciting, I feel, for their footy club, and it's going to be challenging for us to try and defend that, but looking forward to the challenge.
I reckon this is why you play footy, right? Friday night, prime time against a quality club in Melbourne. Yeah,
absolutely. That's what, like you said, it's why you play football, to hopefully get a big crowd to Marvel Stadium on Friday night. And I've been down there a fair bit, so used to playing in those games, and I think it's exciting for us as a group, because like we talked about earlier, the wins have been able to string together, and now it's a big test for us on a Friday night, in front of a big crowd, and looking forward to that challenge.
The side has a strange record in Melbourne. The MCG record hasn't been great. The Marvel record's been excellent. What we could put that down to? Do you have any idea?
I'm not too sure because I'm pretty new, but I feel like the boys are. You don't really approach any interstate game differently. I feel like the preparation's always the same, and being on the other side, it's a bit different when you travel interstate because you're not so used to it. Whereas here, we're doing it every 2 weeks most of the time. So I don't think there's anything to put it down to. It's more just probably what the media say. But once it happens, I feel like inside the four walls, everyone's just business as usual.
Has that been hard for you to sort of, adjust to having to travel all the time, being up here, not being down there, and sort of being out of the footy sort of bubble up here?
Yeah, it's different. It is different. You're travelling a lot more, and it is awesome the way that you can get outside of footy up here. I feel like you can really live that outside lifestyle, and it's been nice to be able to relax a little bit away from the club, and the club do a great job in being able to allow us to do something else outside of footy. And for me, that's studying real estate, so I'm doing a bit of that at the moment, which is cool. And I just feel like it's a well-balanced lifestyle up here, and loving it so far. And looking forward to seeing what it has to hold. But I feel like it's helping us as a group too, just being able to focus on footy when the time comes and when it's your turn to go. Like you're very clearly focused and ready for that challenge.
Actually, I'm not sure if you've spoken about this. How did you find it playing against the Dogs, a few weeks ago?
Yeah, it was different. It was a bit of fun out there. A few of the boys, throwing a bit of lip and stuff, but it was all tongue in cheek, and it was great experience. I feel like once you play against your old club, it's that line in the sand type of moment, and now I know that I'm part of the Brisbane Lions, and the future's exciting. So disappointing not to get the result, but hopefully, across the year we can have the last laugh.
And what do you made of Will's form this year?
Yeah, I mean, Ashy's been awesome. I talked about him in the pre-season, how well he was going, but it's obviously showing now that the consistency within his game and all the hard work that he does behind the scenes really starting to show through. And the weekend was no understatement, I think, of what he's capable of. And I feel like moving forward, we're going to start to see more consistent performances from him. And he's performing at that elite level already, which is pretty impressive. So looking forward to seeing what he brings.
Charlie handling things okay now that he's lost goal of the year?
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? He was sure. I actually don't reckon he meant that one in Canberra, but he was sure to tell us. I think it was at the break, one of the breaks, that he was like, "Nah, I meant to get my hand there." He didn't even get his hand anywhere near it. So, it's good. It's healthy competition, I think, within the four walls, and obviously both guys are trying to kick some miraculous goals and have kicked miraculous goals. So, awesome to see, but also obviously the wins is the most important thing.